Hey guys, Wet Movie 1 back here again for another Blu-ray DVD update. It's been about 2 weeks or so since my last one. I got a nice size stack of stuff here to show you guys today. Please thumbs up this video if you guys like my videos. And the first one up I got is from Warner Brothers, and it's one of those movies, when you pop it in, it'll make you want to go pound your chest. If you're a man or a woman, dog or cat, it's one of those movies that's going to make you want to go, oh, kind of. And that is the Mad Max trilogy from Warner Brothers. This is the first time all the Mad Max movies have been presented in a collection pack together, and it's also the first time that Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome has ever been released on Blu-ray. That is really kind of cool. But I was watching this the other night, and the picture quality on this set is pretty damn good. Like, the blacks are really deep blacks on the TV. Like, they did a really good transfer on these. The first movie has some commentary and what was it called, like the featurette on the phenomenon of Mad Max, because the first Mad Max was like filmed in like 1979, and this was back when Mel Gibson wasn't like a superstar. He was just in Australia making his, making a couple movies, trying to become a superstar. And this was Mad Max, the first one, was like his stepping stone into Hollywood, But when they made the first Mad Max in Australia, it was like a big hit, a big smash over there in 1979, 1980, or whatever it was. And but American audiences, they didn't know what to do, because the people that made the movie thought the Australian accents were too heavy, too unrecognizable for Americans to understand what they're saying. So they went back and redubbed the movie, the original Mad Max movie, and to present it to the audiences. But America liked the movie, the States liked the movie, but it didn't really catch on as they thought they would. But when they made Mad Max 2, they actually called it Mad Max 2, but in the States they renamed it the Road Warrior, because no one in the States really knew what the first Mad Max movie was. So it was a good idea for them to change the movie. But even on this Blu-ray of the Road Warrior, when you put it in, at the beginning of the movie it says Mad Max 2, like it doesn't say the Road Warrior, And Beyond Thunderdome, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome is the first time it's been on Blu-ray, but the picture quality is amazing, and it comes in this cool like tin case. But this is a nice set if you guys are a fan of the Mad Max films. I am not gonna lie, I like the second and third one a bit more than the first. The first one seems just a little amateurish to me. It's still fun, but it's nowhere near as cool as the the last two, Road Warrior and Beyond Thunderdome. But that's the Mad Max trilogy on Blu-ray. And this next set, guys, it's so awesome. Okay, like I love like 99% of the movies that are in this set. And that is here from Warner Brothers is the Clint Eastwood 20 film collection here. I'm gonna try to name all the movies that are on here. You get Dirty Harry, Magnum Force, Outlaw, Josey, Weisz, The Gauntlet, which I watched and I absolutely loved. I'd never seen that movie until I've gotten this set. It's really kind of cool. But there's like a whole bunch of cool like shootouts in this movie. It's kind of like unbelievable how they live in some of that stuff. Sudden Impact, Pale Rider, Heartbreak Ridge, Unforgiven, A Perfect World, which is an awesome movie. But you get Space Cowboys, which I've never been a super fan of. I remember renting that one on VHS or DVD when it first came out. Mystic River, $1 Million Baby, Letters from Iwo Jima, which Clint Eastwood directed. I don't believe he's in it all, but he directed that one. Hereafter, J.Edgar, Trouble with the Curve, and of course, one of my personal favorites on here is Gran Torino. That's one of my favorite ones that's in this set. And this set also comes with this cool like little book here talking about the man himself. The other thing, guys, about this set, there's 2 bonus documentaries about the man. One was made in 2013, one was made in 2010. Very, very insightful stuff. It's really kind of cool because, Clint Eastwood's been around since like the 50s, I believe, doing films, 50s or 60s, doing like westerns and different, a whole bunch of other things. And it's just kind of cool because he's like one of the last guy around that's really like old Hollywood. Because when people talk about movies today, they say, hey, this is a movie. But like when he's talking about different pictures he's have done, like he says the word pictures instead of films, and it's just kind of cool because that's old Hollywood talk right there. But Clint Eastwood, man, is the definition of a real man when it comes to these kind of movies, and I was just so happy to get this set. The picture quality on I'm not gonna lie, I didn't watch all the movies in this set yet, but from what I saw of the movie so far, beautiful picture and sound quality. And man, you guys gotta check this out. There's also a 40 film collection set on DVD that I saw at Best Buy the other day, which looks really cool, like a big old box set of 40 of his movies, but on DVD. That's kind of a cool looking set too. But that's the Clint Eastwood 20 film collection here. And next up was one of my all-time, well, I can't really say all-time, but it's one of my top 15, top 10 martial art movies of all time, and that is Enter the Dragon, the 40th anniversary edition. I've owned this movie on VHS, DVD, special edition 2-disc DVD, the first edition of it on Blu-ray that came out in 2006, and now Warner Brothers has put out the 40th anniversary, now on Blu-ray with 2 or 3 extra bonus features that weren't on original releases of the film, and of course it is getting that digitally remastered treatment, which looks very, very nice. I haven't seen this movie look any better. And you get a special feature on here going back to Hans Island, where they show you locations of the film now and what it looked like back 40 years ago. So a lot of the sets they shot on still looks the same. A lot of them changed a little bit. Some of the stuff got graffitied by, you know, like gang members or graffiti artists and things, which is kind of a shame. But a lot of the sets and a lot of the locations they shot at still look the same, and it's kind of really cool 40 years later. And of course you get interviews in there with Bruce Lee's daughter and wife talking about the man himself. And of course you get the theatrical trailer and TV spots. And you also, new to this set as a special feature, you get a commentary track by producer Paul Heller. And he talks about different things about the film. This movie is just one of the best kung fu movies of all time, but not the best in the world to me. Like, I love like Snake and Eagle Shadow, 36 Chambers of Shaolin, and all that kind of stuff a little bit more than this one. But this one is a definite classic. You even get Jackie Chan in here, just being like a random stuntman. You know what I mean? Like a goon / stuntman. Like you see Bruce Lee slapping him around with, like, you know, his nunchucks or getting kicked through windows and stuff. And you get Sammo Hung in there, Jackie Chan's partner from a lot of the movies from the 80s. There's a lot of really cool martial artists in here, like Bolio Yen, another, you know, awesome martial artist from back in the day. It's just, if you guys are into like martial art movies, you guys are gonna see a bunch of people from other kung fu flicks in this, and it's just really amazing. And this is the movie that broke open the door for Bruce Lee and martial art movies in America. And you just can't have a collection, man. Your collection is not complete if you don't have Enter the Dragon on Blu-ray. Alright guys, next up from Disney is Oz the Great and Powerful, directed by Sam Raimi. You guys all know from The Evil Dead and The Army of Darkness. Man, I absolutely love those films, and I absolutely actually love this film too. You guys probably already saw Andrew's and I's review that we posted up a couple months ago when this movie was in theaters. I absolutely loved it. I absolutely loved the visuals of this film, and watching the special features on this that I checked out so far, they use actually a lot of practical sets in this movie. Like, instead of using a bunch of green screen and blue screen, they use a lot of practical, like, you know, sets and stuff, which was really kind of cool to know by watching the special features on this. And of course you get interviews on here with the actors and behind the scenes of the making of the film. It looks amazing on Blu-ray on my big old HD TV here. So beautiful with the colors popping out at you. But the thing on this Blu-ray that I absolutely fell in love with was a special feature on here talking about how Walt Disney himself was back in the 30s or whatever, 20s, when he was trying to purchase the rights to the Oz books so he can make his Oz movie. But of course MGM came in and took, you know, bought the rights to it and made their, you know, Judy Garland Wizard of Oz movie, which we all know and love. It's a classic everywhere. But I don't know how many of you guys knew that Walt Disney himself really wanted that Oz, and so he can make his own Oz movie. And the special feature in here just talks about how he wanted to do it, and then how in the 50s he acquired the rights to some of the Oz books. And then from then on, he was always trying to, you know, make his Oz project, but it never really came to fruition. And then he passed away. And then of course Disney, you know, had the rights to it since he bought those books, and they made that movie Return to Oz, which was it's cool. It's a cult classic thing, but I don't think Walt Disney himself would have really cared for it. I think he would absolutely love this version that's out today. And it was just a really cool special feature that's on there. I really got into it. It's like 10 or 15 minutes long, talking about Walt Disney and stuff. You got a handful of special features, a really good amount of stuff. And it looks so beautiful on Blu-ray, guys. You won't be disappointed in this one. It's a Blu-ray DVD digital copy combo pack with a shiny slipcase. You guys all know me and my shiny slipcases, but that's Oz the Great and Powerful on Blu-ray, guys. Check this one out. It's so stunning on Blu-ray. And next up right here is Atlantis, The Lost Empire, and Atlantis, Milo's Return, double feature Blu-ray pack here. You get those two movies on one Blu-ray, and of course you get the DVD versions of the films on here. This is the film, you know, the voice talents of Jim Varney. You guys all know that played Ernest is in the first Atlantis one, and of course you get Michael J. Fox. You guys all know Marty McFly as the voice of the professor, and it's pretty much the professor is always trying to find the lost empire of Atlantis, because there was this place called Atlantis that got, you know, overtaken by like this big wave, and it's like, you know, people don't know whatever happened to it, or some people don't even think it exists. And this kid that's played by Michael J. Fox, or professor, really thinks it's still there. And he gets this book, this old book that his dad left him, and he's like, oh, and his dad even believed the same thing. So he's like, you know what? I'm gonna try to go out there and find the lost empire of Atlantis, and that's pretty much the film. And it's a fun one. You can't go wrong with Michael J. Fox and the old kind of like hand-drawn animation. Not exactly hand-drawn. It's a little. I'm not exactly sure what you call it, because I know it's more hand-drawn than it is. I don't know how to explain that kind of animation style, but I really do like the film. You get all the same special features as you did on the original DVD releases of these movies, and looks very, very nice on Blu-ray. Really nice picture quality on this. Best I ever seen this movie look. I still actually own Atlantis, the first one, still on VHS. Bam! See, my VHS is still intact, and I still have it in my collection to this day. I don't know, I think it's just the cover of it that reminds me of the old days of how cool movies were back when I was younger. Even now, movies are still cool, but back then they just seemed they were a little bit cooler back then, you know? But that's my VHS, and now the Blu-ray. Check them out, guys. Next up right here is The Emperor's New Groove and Crunk's New Groove, now on Blu-ray. I just love these movies, man, especially The Emperor's New Groove. You get David Spade in there playing the Emperor, and you get John Goodman in there playing the Peasant Man. It's just really cool. It's about this guy played by David Spade. He's an emperor. He's kind of like a douche. He kind of treats people like they're nothing. One day, John Goodman comes into the palace, and the Emperor tells him, he's like, you know what? I'm gonna take your house. I'm gonna move. I'm gonna, you know, destroy it. I'm gonna kick your family out of your house, and I'm gonna put a big pool in there for myself. You know, he's kind of like a douche, and he even fires this one, you know, weird lady that works for him, and that when she gets all mad when she gets fired and gets this potion and turns him into this this animal, which you'll see when you watch the movie, and it's pretty much him trying to like redeem himself, trying to make himself a better person. And it's like, is he going to do it? Is he not going to do it? But it's a Disney movie, so you know what's going to happen. There's really no special features on this one. But you also get the Crunk's New Groove, which you get Crunk, you know, as front and center as the star of this one. Crunk is like the evil witch lady's goon from the first one. And he gets his own movie in this. And I don't know. These are always just fun family movies to watch. Like, it's the fun, good time. And but I do recommend Emperor's New Groove a little bit more than Crunk's New Groove. But yeah, guys, check it out, man.
Hi everyone, just stopping by for my 2 cents worth. Next up from Sony is Absolute Deception, starring Cuba Gooding Jr. and hopefully I pronounced this young lady's name right, Emmanuelle Vauger. Absolute Deception, it's a cop show, and you know me and my mysteries and cop shows. I'm big fans of those. And I love Cuba Gooding Jr. He's done great movies. This particular one, I'm so sorry, as you can tell by expression on my face, it just falls really flat. Because, you know, I love, you know, intrigue and FBI agents and all that kind of stuff. And this one, the script and script/story is so cliche. Oh my goodness. The lines, the stories. You've heard it all before. If you're like me and a fan of all that stuff, you've heard it all before. And unfortunately this movie, I don't have, unfortunately, a good recommendation for. Like I say, it's just totally cliche. Cuba Gooding Jr., I love him. I always have. I always will. It's just that, I guess, for me, it was something maybe he should not have chosen to do. But I love him anyway, so it's okay. Alrighty, and my next thing, now you know me, like I say, me and my TV series that I just watch episode after episode all night long. Well, as you can tell, the next one right here is Breaking Bad, and this is season 5. Oh my goodness. Now, it's all the usual characters, you know, Walter White, Jesse, what do they call him? Jesse Pinkman, of course, that's Aaron Paul and Bryan Cranston. But they've added 2 new characters to this particular season. Now, I'm not going to tell you what they do, because that would spoil the whole thing. I'm not going to tell you what their characters are or what they do. But it keeps it interesting, let me tell you. And I guess they've put this out in 2 volumes for season 5. This is just the first one. The next one doesn't come out until August or something like that. But by the end of this part of it, you're like, oh my god, where's the next disc? Oh please. You know, because they always do that stuff in here, and they keep on doing it. So don't miss this. It's season 5, Breaking Bad. Alrighty, back to Brendan.
Alright guys, next up from 20th Century Fox is A Good Day to Die Hard, Die Hard 5. I gotta say right off the bat, this is not the best Die Hard movie in the whole franchise. I would have to say the first one's the absolute classic. Absolutely love that one. And then it goes number 3 for me with him, Bruce Willis and Samuel L. Jackson doing their thing. That's my second favorite. Then you get Bruce Willis and the airport in part 2, which is my third favorite. And then you get this one, and then there's the Live Free or Die Hard. I think the only reason I really like Live Free or Die Hard is because Kevin Smith was in it. I think that was the only reason I really was like, this is awesome, this is cool. You know, but now I watch it back, I'm like, I just think, even Bruce Willis now, even in this one, he doesn't seem the same as he did back in the original 3. You know, it doesn't seem like the same John McClane character. He still has his little one-liners and things, which is kind of funny, but it just doesn't seem like his heart is really in it anymore. You know, but this Blu-ray here, this is the Blu-ray DVD, and it also has two versions of the film, the theatrical version and the extended cut version, all in one disc here. The theatrical cut is about 98 minutes. The extended cut of the film is 98 minutes. So it's like, huh? Commentary on here. You get some behind-the-scenes featurettes, deleted scenes, and you know the typical stuff you get on new release movies. Picture quality is pretty damn good. This is definitely not my favorite Die Hard movie, but you do get some killer action scenes, over the top, fun action and stuff in this one. So if you want to complete your collection of the Die Hard trilogy, the Die Hard franchise, not trilogy, but the Die Hard franchise, you guys got to get your hands on Die Hard 5, man. A good day to die hard. Alright guys, next up right here is 12 Rounds 2 Reloaded, starring Randy Orton. You guys all know from WWE. He's a pretty good damn wrestler. I really like the character and the persona that he has in the WWE. But this is also made by the WWE production company. And you guys all know 12 Rounds was originally starring John Cena, but now this is 12 Rounds 2 with Randy Orton. He's just an everyday kind of guy. He's like an EMT, and one day he's out walking with his girlfriend one night, like after they were at a club or whatever, and he witnesses this car crash and he saves this one guy, and then it flashes to the future, and then something bad really happens, and Randy Orton has to do these 12, go through these 12 different rounds to help save his wife from being murdered, and it's really kind of fun, but it's really kind of cheesy at the same time. Like, there's the difference between wrestling acting and acting. He's still good. I can see the potential in him, to be an actor in these movies. But he just needs to work on it just a little bit, But it was a fun movie if you guys like action flicks like this, like The Marine and stuff like that. You guys will dig this, but it's not no masterpiece whatsoever. But that's 12 Rounds 2 Reloaded on Blu-ray. Next up right here from Summit Entertainment is Warm Bodies. And this is the Blu-ray digital copy ultraviolet pack here. Whoa, with the slipcase. I've watched this movie recently. I didn't get to see it in theaters. It's about a zombie that falls in love with a human, and the interaction between the two, and how the human girl, her father works for like the army that's destroying or trying to kill all the undead or the zombies or whatever you want to call it. And it's just them and how they meet each other, and how the zombies that are in this film live in this airport, or just like hang out and walk around in this airport area. It's really kind of cool. The music in this movie is amazing. Like the person that made this movie, that picked the songs and the right spots for the different songs in this film, really did a good job, because that's another part of filmmaking that a lot of people don't really know, is picking the right songs for movies and certain scenes can really elevate the awesomeness of a movie. Or even if the movie's really bad, like a song can really elevate a scene to make it seem like it's even better than it is. And they did a very good job picking music for this movie. The music didn't need to be there. The movie's still awesome, even without the music. And it's really kind of a unique kind of a film. The acting by the main kid here, I forgot his name, it's kind of like when he's delivering lines as a zombie, which you guys know from other movies, zombies don't really talk. It's like, you know? But in this, the way he talks is kind of like how Leonardo DiCaprio in Titanic was talking when he's in the ice right before, you know, he perishes. He's like, Rose, Rose. You know, it's kind of like that when you watch the film. You kind of get that. But that's Warm Bodies on Blu-ray. Can't recommend this movie enough, guys. Alright guys, next up from Anchor Bay is Dark Skies on Blu-ray DVD Ultraviolet Digital Copy Combo Pack. I heard a lot of mixed things about this film. Like my friend Jose Prendez said it was awful, said it was terrible. My buddy Cool Duder said it was amazing, like, you know, not amazing, but you know, it's good. And I really wanted to see this, you know, like it was one of those ones I like, you know, creepy kind of home invasion, like what's going on in my house kind of a movie. I always like that kind of stuff. And I just wanted to give it a shot. It's a PG-13 film, so that was another thing that was making me go, huh. And I put it in, and it was alright. Like, it's not completely horrible, but it's totally watchable. It's pretty much about this family. This dad is, like, pretty much just lost his job, and he's trying to find a new one. The wife is a realtor trying to, like, you know, sell houses and things, and they're kind of having problems, and the crazy stuff starts happening. The mom goes downstairs, and like the front door is open or the back door is open. She's like, how did this happen? Like some of it's kind of stupid, and then the next night she goes downstairs and everything in the refrigerator is all over the floor. It's just kind of like slowly builds. It doesn't really build to too much, but it kept me interested. It's pretty much about like a home invasion movie. Is it people coming in your house? Is it an entity? Is it the son that's sleepwalking and messing with them? It's one of those kind of movies. I kind of dug it, but it's one of those ones, I don't know how many times I'm actually going to watch it again. But from like a 0 to a 10, I would probably give it like a solid 5. It's totally watchable, but it's one of those ones I can see why some people liked it, and some people were like, that's awful. You know, because there was some elements of the film that was just like, what is that? You know? But that's Dark Skies on Blu-ray, DVD, Ultraviolet Digital Copy. And next up right here from Kino is Hell's House, starring Bette Davis. This movie was made in 1932, and it's pretty much about this one kid. He lives on this farm, and his mom gets hit by a car. She passes away, and he has to go live with his aunt and uncle in the city. And when he goes to visit them or stay with them, he finds out that they have a person staying upstairs that they're renting a room to, and he becomes friends with that person they're renting the room to, but yet the guy's into shady stuff and the shady business on the street, and he gets involved with him, and then gets thrown into this boys' prison kind of school, like a school for boys kind of a thing, but it's kind of like a prison, and it's him trying to, you know, see what he can do to get the hell up out of there. It was like kind of cool for a movie from the 30s, but like you could totally feel that vibe of how it was back in the day. Like, say if someone gets pushed in a movie, like a kid's pushing another kid, like right now if that happened, you'd be like, yo, what's up? Or like, you know, something like that. But like back then, if you like push someone, I'm like, say, why'd you do that? Say, you know, like, you know, the weird way they would talk back in the day. But that back in the day, that's just the way they talked. But Betty Davis is in the film. You guys all know her from Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, but when she was a lot older. She was only in, she's like a supporting character in this film. She's on the front of the box, but she's not really really in the film. It really focuses on the kid that gets, you know, put into the all-boys school or whatever. It was actually really kind of cool. I really did enjoy this one. I really do recommend this movie, guys. That's Hell's House. I like watching old stuff sometimes. I really do appreciate all films from any period of time, you know. Hell's House on Blu-ray. And that is Brooklyn Castle on DVD here. It's a documentary about this school in Brooklyn that takes in like inner city kids, you know, low-income kids to their school. I believe it's like a junior high. They teach them how to play chess. And it's about them going in competitions and how their school hasn't lost the competition in like 8 or 9 years. And it just follows some of the kids, and they talk to the kids and what kind of dreams they have and aspirations they have in life and how they think chess might help them accomplish that. And it follows them throughout like a whole year, a handful of the kids. It's a very well done documentary. I know a lot of you guys, like Sean, I was talking to Sean the other day. He's like, yeah, was that the Bobby Fischer movie? I'm like, well, no, not really, but it just, you know, follows some kids. And I don't know, it was a very well done documentary about chess and the school system and how, I think 2010 or 11 or whatever, the school that these guys were in had budget cuts. And they almost lost the different, like the chess club or, you know, the dance or singing club, acting club kind of thing. And they almost had to cut everything. And there's just all the stress involved with that. It's a very well done documentary. If you guys see it out there, I definitely recommend you guys rent this one. I liked it very much. That's Brooklyn Castle. And last up here, last but not least, it's two DVDs I absolutely love because I was actually at these shows, and that is Dante Presents The Gay List. This is his stand-up comedy special. You know, I was there. It was actually really funny. And Dante and Rebecca Cochin, which I was on their podcast, the Stimulus Package podcast. If you guys heard me talk about that back a couple months ago, I was on their show one or two times. And this is one of their new DVDs that just came out, which you guys can get on Amazon. If you guys are into stand-up comedy, this is very funny stuff. But I gotta say, this next one right here I love the most, and it's Dante Presents Dante's one-man comedy hour on DVD. I absolutely love Dante. Dante's the guy that pretty much got me off my ass to start doing these kind of, like doing videos or short films, and just, dude, if you want to do something, do it. You know, go out there and do it. Don't just think about it, do it. You know? And it was pretty much his short films that I watched that he made that made me want to, you know, go out there and do this stuff myself. You know, make my own short films, in which turned into making YouTube videos. And this is his one-man comedy hour. And it's very funny. You get that he's on the top of his game in this. This was also filmed at the John Lovitz Comedy Club in Hollywood over there on Universal City Walk. And if you guys get this DVD, you'll see me in the crowd. You see like the back or the side of me in this, but like you're like, hey, who's that fat guy in the front? Yep, that's Wet Movie. But this is you guys all know Dante. He's from Last Comic Standing. He was also on BET. He's one of the guys that won the most awards on one of BET's comedy awards. And man, this is just an amazing DVD here. If you guys love stand-up, I can't recommend this this guy anymore. If you guys go out there, go to Amazon right now. Please order this. It's so funny. And plus, you'll see me. You get to see the side or the back of me. It's pretty cool. And yeah, man. Alright, guys. That's all I really have to show you guys and talk about today. But please, guys, check this one out. And if you guys like my videos, please thumbs them up. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.